Just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. Waiting on my. Oh.
Hey man, nothing else needs to be said. Welcome. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Yeah, it's the playoffs. Playoffs are here. I mean, tempers are flaring in the chat. Guys, I know there's a lot of nervousness, whatever, a lot of emotions. You don't really know what to do with them. It's time. It's here. But welcome to our playoff edition of RSFFL Live. This is playoffs, baby. I mean, what else you want? 2013, this is what we signed up for. This is when we came and had a league summit for this summer. Everybody had dreams and aspirations of being here, and there's 8 guys that made it. I want to send a special congratulations to the Coaches Cadets, to the SWAT Kings, to the Aaron Foster Care, all right, to the Houston Hustlers, Lynch Mob, who's a 6th seed. We got who else we got? We got Ground and Pound. We got Camp Creek Cartel. We got All Aboard. All right, not in that order, but those are the 8 playoff teams. And sending a special congratulations, man, because truly, as everybody has an opportunity to win it. I mean, we kind of took a look back. We'll talk about some history that we've had as far as the playoffs, who has the best shot to win it, who doesn't. But before we get started with the show, I just want to congratulate everybody for making the playoffs, and for you guys that did not make the playoffs, hopefully it drives you to get better and have do a better job GM and coaching next year, have some better players. But thank you guys for participating in the league. But as we always do, let's get started with our sponsors. As always, man, these guys have been wonderful and great to us all year. Special shout out to the Youth Passing League. Those guys at YPL have done a great job of sponsoring our show, is making the production the way it is each week. Another special shout out to Nike Fuel Band as usual. They've done wonders for the Coaches Cadets, and we really recommend to the other teams in the league. Special shout out to this week. We got a new sponsor on board. We got Playmate the Coolers. All right. Hey man, in order to win, man, you got to pack a sack lunch. All right. And it's a perfect opportunity the way you can keep your keep whatever you need to keep cool. Keep your sandwiches warm. With no air getting in there. It's a perfect opportunity. But hey, gotta pack a sack lunch if you want to win this thing, man. You can't complain about, man, I had more points than so and so. You gotta pack a sack lunch. And if it's gonna take all day, all night, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it takes to get this championship, you gotta be willing to do it. There's no breaks, there's no time off. You gotta pack a sack lunch and get it done. Special shout out to Playmate Coolers for sponsoring us this week. Special shout out to Corona. All right, Corona. I mean, I know a lot of guys are burning midnight oil. Just want to relax after hard days of practice, hard day of work, and the Corona is a great opportunity to do that with your beer. And also the Corona, they will be sponsoring our parties, the end of season parties, the going to the Super Bowl and the winner of the Super Bowl. Thank you, Corona. All right, special shout out to those guys at Hennessy. Hennessy wants to be on board with us. They want to be hey man, it's gonna be some disappointment. All right, there's only one team that's going to hold up the trophy at the end of the year, so Hennessy wants to be a part of helping those guys out, cope with the losses on the season, and also help to celebrate on the end of the season as well. Thank you, Corona. And then the last thing, a special shout out to Titleist. All right, Titleist golf clubs. They realize that a lot of people, the term going fishing, it's going to be a lot of guys going golfing, man. All right, for vacation, they want to get to some warm weather going golfing, and Titleist is the way to go if you guys want to do that. Thank you. And as we always do, guys, let's get the show started off. We're not gonna dwell too much on the regular season, but we do want to, as always, give those guys recognition who had great Week 13s, because we had a lot of guys who had great Week 13s. Let's start looking at our high rollers of last week. I want to send a special shout out to They Say Who didn't quit. I mean, they're clearly out the playoffs. They had a very good team this year. I want to thank them again for participating in the league. I don't know if we actually want them back or not, but well, thank you for participating in the league. But he had 159 points last week. A great job of not quitting and fighting to the end. Led by Eric Decker with 51 points. That's a huge performance from him. He had Seahawks defense 23, Torrey Smith 21, Jock Bell 21. I mean, his best player, Drew Brees, didn't really do anything, but his other guys showed up and showed out. Congratulations. They Say Who that. And we had 2 guys tied with 155 points. We started with SWAT Kings, and I think that's what the doctor ordered for SWAT. They had a big matchup going into the playoffs. They wanted to be playing well to get some confidence with themselves, and they did. And they did that led by Alshon Jeffrey, 55 points. You thought Eric Decker was nice. Alshon Jeffrey, 55 points. Let me just call his stats real quick for you guys. 12 catches, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, good gracious, man. Congratulations, Alshon. I mean, you make performances like that, SWAT Kings will be hoisting that trophy at the end of the season. So I know he's looking forward to that. He had one other player over 20 points with Reggie Bush with 27. Had a nice game on, it was at Thanksgiving. He had a nice game on Thanksgiving. Congratulations, SWAT Kings, with that. And then we had another player tied with 155, all aboard. Whew, all aboard's hot, man. They are hot coming into the playoffs. All aboard had Josh Gordon. I mean, some receivers balled out this last week. Josh Gordon had 54 points, 10 catches, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's just been on fire, man. I mean, goodness gracious. Then Josh McNown. I mean, I told you guys last week. All aboard is just he's had a lot of adversity. I mean, his top guys are out, and he's just fighting. He's finding these guys on the waiver wire, and they're just getting it done. Josh McNown with 29 points. Andre Brown, 20 points. All these guys are waiver wire pickups, man. All 3 of them, man. Congratulations all aboard. And I don't think too many guys are comfortable playing these guys in the playoffs. So we'll see. I know Aaron Foster Care has a big matchup against them. So congratulations to those 3 teams. We actually had a pretty good week as far as every team except one was in the hundreds, which should be every week, man. Guys, you shouldn't score in 100 points, but we're not going to really talk about it. So it's the same 2 guys. You can guess. Team Wood Pauls and Hendall Susie Smackers, man. Those guys are out of here. They're gone golfing. Hey, guys, we have some gift certificates with titles for you guys. You guys reach out to us and we'll get those to you. But like I said, those are the high rollers and the cellar dwellers. But let's just talk about, man, what's at stake here, man. What's at stake? I mean, we all put $50 in to begin the season. Let's talk about what's at stake, what we can win. I think the goal every year is to not lose any money. I mean, that's obvious. When you make an investment, when you make a bet, you don't want to lose any money. So in order to do that, you have to get 3rd place in the league. You'll get your money back. If you make it to the championship game, you're guaranteed at least $100. So if you finish 2nd place, you'll be $100. And if you win it all, you'll be at $450. And of course, those bragging rights. So that's what's at stake here, guys. We got a lot of money on the line. We got $600 of money that the league is trying to give out. So good luck to everybody. And then also the last place, we have to buy wings at the league, or make wings, whatever you got to do, provide food at the summit next summer or whenever it is. So that's some at stake at the in the bottom bracket as well. But like I said, I want to thank you, everybody. We was trying to thank everybody before for participating in the league. It's been a great season. I mean, the best season yet. I mean, almost everybody's participating, but it's just been a lot of fun. 13 weeks have flown by, and the league's just getting bigger and better every year. And let's just continue to do that. I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, the tempers are flaring, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the conversation going. I mean, like you heard the song, the theme song. Hey, whose moment is it, man? I mean, you never know whose moment it is, and if it's your moment, you want to, hey, enjoy the moment. I mean, it's going to be over in 3 weeks. Some people it's going to be over in about 3 days. So, you don't want to, when it's over, what can you say? So you want to enjoy the moment. You want to, the day-to-day, and just have fun with it. And that's what we're doing at the Coaches Cadets. Win, lose, or draw, man. We're going to give our best effort. That's all we can do. We're gonna leave it all on the line, give our best effort. Enjoy the moment, man. That's all I got for you. I'm not really going to do rankings this week. I mean, the rankings don't mean anything. Records don't mean anything. But what I will do, I kind of take a look at each team. And, to me, my opinion, in order to win it all, is I think every team here has a good enough team that they can beat anybody on any given week. That's just the bottom line. So I don't think anybody is just going to come out and just say, oh, man, I'm going to beat everybody. I think everybody has explosive players. Everybody has a good core group of guys that just get it done week in and week out. But I think the teams that, in my opinion, have the best opportunity to win it all are those that are those that don't have too many weaknesses. They're those that, if their best player doesn't play well, can they still win? That's the best 2 players don't play well, can they still win? I think that's one thing that Coaches Cadets, we won't talk about as much, is that we can do. We have multiple players, so if Peyton doesn't play well, if Dez, Brandon, Rob doesn't play, whatever, we got guys who can pick each other up. And I think the number one team that I see, and I'm not going to rank them all, but there's one team in particular I see that has a formula like that. I like the SWAT Kings. Although they have issues at the quarterback position, I mean, goodness gracious, man. I mean, you got Matt Forte, LaShawn McCoy, Larry Fitzgerald, who's just quietly just being solid. I mean, if Larry Fitzgerald is the worst player in your starting lineup, I think that's a good thing. You got Alshon Jeffrey, who's explosive as they come, pause. You got Jared Cook, who, whatever. And you got Reggie Bush, Chiefs defense, and Robbie Gould. I mean, the Chiefs defense has been a weapon for them all year. In the last few weeks, they've been struggling, so hopefully they'll pick it up. But, I mean, Carson Palmer is actually an upgrade, the way Andrew Luck's been playing. So, I really like SWAT Kings as as they have that total package. They don't need everybody to perform well. And I say perform. I think you need to score 150 points. I think that's a good performance. I think they can do that with or without someone performing. So I like SWAT Kings' chances if the coaches cadets do fall. And let's just look at the teams in order. The number 3 seed Arian Foster Care. I look at their team and I'm my opinion. I just don't like coming to having decisions to make, and he has a decision to make at quarterback. But other than quarterback, he has a lot of solid players. He's explosive at the receiver position with Demaryius Thomas and Antonio Brown. He wins, but I mean his roster is just not jumping off the screen. So we'll see what happens with Arian Foster this year. This playoffs. The Houston Hustlers are the number 4 seed. And I tell you what, man. They like I said, I don't know why they haven't dropped Julio Jones on it, whatever. But man, he has a good team, man. RG3 can do, he can play well whether he wins or not in the real game. Ray Rice, if he plays well, man, whoo, these guys are gonna be in trouble facing Houston. DeMarco Murray, Victor Cruz, Jordy Nelson, Garrett Graham is solid. Fred Jackson, Bengals D. I mean, this guy's a good team, man. Don't overlook those guys. Lynch Mob, I think Lynch Mob is another team like SWAT Kings, top to bottom, man. They might have the most top 10 players in the starting lineup, man. I mean, they don't really have any weaknesses. The only thing with Lynch Mob is he's got boomer bust guys, pause, with Deshaun Jackson and T.Y. Hilton. But those guys, if they go off, man, woo, those guys are allowed to put up 160. But they're those type of guys can have 3 receptions for 30 yards too. But we'll see. But I think Lynch Mob has a team like SWAT Kings and the coach of cadets, the top to bottom, that you can't just shut down one guy and be happy. I mean, because everybody's gonna bring their A game. Let's look at who else we got. All Aboard. Let's look at All Aboard. All Aboard, man. I'm telling you, man. He's always making good decisions. You see a lot of holes in his lineup, but Shane Vereen, he didn't have any sexy names. Shane Vereen, Andre Brown, Foles, Gordon, Sproles. They're not sexy, but man, they tell you what, he's always making the right decision. So I wouldn't want to play them any week. I'll tell you that right now, because I feel like any week he can put up 160. But he might put up 92 with his lineup, but he can easily put up 160 any week. You got Camp Creek Cartel, and they put up numbers all year. He's one team that almost has too many good players because he doesn't know who to play. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm just saying I'm looking at his roster. I mean, it's almost like he's drawing them out of a hat. Who's going to play well, who's not. So if he's making the right decisions, man, he can definitely go on a run. And then last but not least, Ground and Pound, number 8. And I think Ground and Pound has a really good team as well. I mean, Russell Wilson is coming to his own. Adrian Peterson is just balling. Rashad Jennings that's a great pickup by him. With Darren McFadden being hurt and whatever he's doing, then you got Calvin Johnson, man. He was on the Coach Cadets last year, so I know all about Calvin. It's going to be a big time. I mean, Calvin go for 50 any game, so that's tough. And you got Mike Wallace. He's another big play guy. If he's making big plays, and watch out. And he got the Texans defense against Jacksonville. Beginning of the season, any defense against Jacksonville was great. So we'll see. They play tonight, so we'll see with that. But I mean, man, he has a solid, such of a solid. It's like he's definitely gonna put up about 130. So it's not like you can hope for him to have a bad performance because he's gonna be solid. And how good is he gonna be? I don't know. So that's gonna be a tough matchup. But he has a solid team top to bottom as well, and I think he has a good formula here that has the opportunity to win it all. He could go in a 3-week span, so Calvin doesn't have to play well, and I think he can still put up some good numbers. But for this scene right here, that'll be it. And I will come back and just have a quick overview of the matchups. It won't be too long, but I definitely wanted to just go in depth on every playoff team. But we'll be right back at the commercial break, and we'll talk about each matchup. And then, hey, it's all up to the players on the field at that point. It's all up to the players on that field up to that point. We'll be right back.
Waiting on that time. Tell me if you've been waiting on yours. That moment, it's close. It's close.
Yeah. Tired of living day to day like everything's alright. Just waiting